Hey, it's Gray, back with another review that can be found published on grayeyes.me every Monday at 10 a.m. Central. Today we are talking about a skillet lasagna and whether it's worth making. I don't know about you, but one of my favorite go-to dinners is a nice homemade lasagna. It's always very filling and we always have leftovers, so it's perfect for a busy week where I know we'll only have enough time or mental strength to just heat up a meal. Happens to the best of us, so it's nice to have these foolproof dinners up our sleeve. But what do you do when you're craving that lasagna flavor without all the layers and bake time? That's what I've been trying to test this week by trying a skillet lasagna. And before the gears start turning too quickly, no, this does not mean layering up the skillet like you would a casserole dish with noodles, protein noodles, you get the point. A skillet lasagna takes the flavors of your favorite lasagna and mixes them together in one skillet. Yes, you prepare your filling, stir in the uncooked noodles, and top it off with cheese once the noodles are cooked. It sounds simple enough, and there's no baking involved. But is it worth it, or should you just stick with a traditional lasagna? For this week's review, we're going to look more at the concept of the skillet lasagna versus an actual recipe. However, if you need a reference, I'll link one below. For starters, yes, making the skillet lasagna appears to be faster than making it the traditional way. What you do is start by cooking the filling in the skillet until browned and cooked through. For my lasagna, I used ground turkey, garlic, onion, and Italian seasoning. Then once cooked through and the extra fat and liquid drained off, I added pasta sauce. In this case, use your favorite pasta sauce and taste for any additional seasoning if needed. You can add as many or as few veggies as you want for this filling. In this case, you don't really need to worry about fitting into the casserole dish, as long as it fits in the skillet. My favorite addition to any lasagna has always been spinach, so I made sure to add that. Keep in mind if you're using other veggies like mushrooms, they may need to be cooked through first instead of just stewing in the pasta sauce. Once you have your filling set to your liking, that's when you can move on to the lasagna noodles. This shortcut of lasagna does not require you to cook your lasagna sheets, as they are meant to cook in the simmering filling. Just like noodles cook too long, you don't want the same thing to happen to your lasagna sheets, meaning mushy, falling apart, you get it. I ended up using Barilla gluten-free lasagna sheets, as I've used this brand many times and it always works out really well. This is the part where I would stop following any recipe instructions. These noodles will not be cooked per the box's instructions. This will just require a little more time and patience, since you'll want all the sheets covered in the filling to get most of the simmer. My noodles took closer to 30 minutes to be completely cooked through and edible, so just keep an eye out. This may also vary depending on the lasagna sheets you end up using. The only type I do not recommend is fresh pasta. That just increases your chances of having the mushy pasta. Not cool. Like any traditional lasagna, I like adding a layer of ricotta cheese. For this skillet recipe, I did the same thing, with the only exception of a full layer. I did dollops of ricotta and covered the rest with shredded mozzarella. This of course is up to you if you include dairy in your lasagna or not. This is just how I made it. I covered the skillet for a few minutes to allow the cheese to melt and finally placed the uncovered skillet under the broiler for a few minutes. This was just to brown the cheese a little bit, not mandatory, but it certainly looks more appetizing to me. I give the skillet lasagna a 4 out of 5. If you're in a time crunch or don't want to use an oven, then I certainly recommend making a skillet lasagna. Would I call it a better alternative than just making a traditional lasagna? Not at all. I don't think traditional lasagnas take much time to prepare to begin with. Plus, they are filling and often result in leftovers that can be reheated in the oven. Honestly, it's fantastic. This different way of making lasagna can be placed in its own category as a skillet pasta dish. It's delicious because it includes all of our favorite flavors of lasagna and omits the need for multiple dishes and cooking tools. That in itself is a win, I admit that. So will I make more skillet lasagnas instead of traditional oven-baked lasagnas? I may make it a seasonal type of thing on those days where I don't want the oven on. How about that? What are your favorite one skillet meals? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to give them a try. And as always, if you enjoy these reviews, I hope you give this video a like and subscribe to the channel to be notified when more videos will be out. Until next time, take care and stay gray-mazing.